Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy on Board Game Geek, bringing you our next episode. This will be episode, I think, 5 of Shadows of Brimstone, and we are just came up in a big heated battle. I know we ran into another flooded passage here, and out of the waters burst a bunch more of the hungry dead. Out of the water to attack us, and so this is the state that we are in right now. They have ambushed us and surrounded us. They have a slightly better initiative this turn, and we're going to have to do a lot of fighting. But first, we need to roll on our death track to start our new turn. Okay, let's hope we get a good roll here, because these battles can stop us from moving. 4 is not a good roll, so we're going to go down one more, and you notice that we have a... Oh, I need to be here too, by the way. Now, with the yellow posse marker doesn't do anything. It just shows you how many rooms. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're down at 10. And then this goes up 1, but that does have an impact on us. We are going to add another growing dread to our pile for our end battle, and now we have 3 of those in play. Okay, but back to our big fight here. So first off, we're going to roll movement for our Indian Scout. Now remember, just going over the hungry dead again. They also have this ability of fear, which I have to remember because we are going to deal with that every time we start our turn adjacent, our activation adjacent to them. So yeah, that's going to be a problem. And we're going to start with Walks in Darkness. He's going to make his movement roll. He rolls a 1. That's good because he gets a grit. I'm not going to complain about giving him a grit. So I got a grit token out, and he's not going to move. He's just going to use his... We're going to pull out a couple weapons for him, primarily his hatchet, and we're going to make an attack roll with that. So I'm going to put that right there. I'm not going to move his card around there. I'm going to have it somewhere on the screen so you can see his stats. That'll be easier than trying to bring his card over every time to see what he does. It's just you can't see how much damage he has. I can tell you right now he's got 6 sanity. So the first thing we have to do is test against the fear. Yeah, and that'll be the next thing we do because he's now been activated. So we have to roll, we automatically take 1 horror hit, so he's got to roll his, he's got a 4 better chance to avoid it. He did not, so he takes another sanity. That is not good. He is currently at 7 out of 10. That's pretty rough, but now he gets to attack. So his combat is a 2, and his hatchet gives him +1 damage, gives him a better chance of killing these guys. You know what, the preacher can cast a sermon. It doesn't require him to activate. Maybe we should do that. Let me think about it. I think he's going to do Righteous Fury on our Indian Scout. So if we can kill those guys, we can back out of the room. If he can kill both of them, we can get out of that room and not have to worry about... Because, you know, I realize we also have to, as his turn goes on, I'll make sure we do this, do the spirit test again with the crack in space. We got to get out of that room. So, I mean, he could end up going insane right up in here. So we're going to do this. So first off, our preacher has to roll an 8 or better. It cost him 1 faith to do it, and then I'm going to burn his other 2 faith this turn. It recovers every turn. He's only going to do one of these right now. That'll give him a 6. I want to make sure it gets done so that if we do damage, we can actually kill the hungry dead. So he's starting his Righteous Fury sermon. We're going to roll 2 dice. We need to roll a 6 or better. Come on, baby. Oh, no, he failed. You know what? He is going to burn a grit to re-roll. Can't remember what we had now. 4 and a 1, I think. Let me go back and look. Okay, yeah, he had rolled a 4 and a 1. So we're going to burn a grit to re-roll this 1 die here. He rolled a 1. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, so he failed to cast this sermon. It does not go off, and he can't cast it again because he used all his faith for the turn. So we're going to put that back. Unfortunately, that means that, well, it just means he doesn't get the extra damage. But now we have to make a spirit check before I forget for Walks in Darkness, because it says any hero who ends their movement. Well, he will end his movement, but it's not the end of his turn. So let's just do his attacks. He's going to roll 2 dice. Well, it is actually past his movement, right? So we need him to do a spirit 6. He's got a spirit of 3. Let's roll that. Let's hope he gets lucky here. He is going to burn a grit token to re-roll a die. And he got it on that one. So it cost him a grit, but he did re-roll and keep himself from getting more sanity, which does actually give him 20 experience points. Okay, now we get to do his attacks, finally. Well, he's using his hatchet. He's got two combat dice and a melee of 4. So we got 1 hit. Let's hope that's enough to kill one of them. He's got a +1 damage. A 6, that will kill, because their defense is 4, and they only have 1 hit, so a 6 will kill one. I think we'll just kill the one right in front of him. That will grant him another 20 experience points. They're not worth a lot of experience, but I'll tell you what, it adds up. So we'll just keep piling that up. I mean, it doesn't take that much. I should check. I don't think any of them are close to leveling, but it's worth looking at. Okay, that ends his turn, guys. So he killed one of them, and now it's going to move on to our sheriff. We have a decision to make here. Our sheriff has 2 pistols. Now, he can dual wield them, and that will give him 5 dice rolls. However, when you do that, you cannot roll criticals. Now, the big thing about these guys is they're high defense, and a critical would allow you to ignore their defense rolls. So I think in the case of this fight, I think we're just going to keep with our Peacekeeper for now. And he's not going to draw the other pistol and use it. So he's just going to get 3 shots. If he can get a 6, he'll probably kill one, because they only have 1 hit. But I think that's better than trying to get a bunch of 5 rolls on damage. So let's see if he hits. He's got 3 shots, and he's got a ranged attack of 4. He hit once. That's not great. I'm not going to reroll or use a grit or anything. We could use his grit for other things. Let's see if he does enough. He actually did 6 points anyway. So while he didn't critical, he did kill one of the ones in front of him. So we're going to take that one away. Boom, it is dead, and we're going to give him 20 experience points. I did forget to roll for his movement. Not that he has 2 grit already, so it's not going to help him. He rolled a 6. Okay, he's of course safe from the stuff into the room. The other thing I did not roll for him, which you got to remember, gosh guys, so many things to remember, is the fear ability from the undead. So let's roll for that. He's going to take a horror hit. He's got to roll a 4 or more. He gets another sanity point. He failed that, so he takes another hit on his sanity. The sheriff currently has 5 sanity damage out of 12. Okay, now we're going to move on to the undead, the hungry zombies. So we'll start with the one that is on our preacher. He hasn't gone yet, but our preacher can get hit just the same. So the hungry dead have a melee of 4. They get 1 attack and they do 3 damage. So it did hit. He's going to get his defense roll of 5 plus. Yuck. And he failed, so he's going to take 3 damage. Bummer. So that was 3 out of 12. This is the first time he's hit, so he's not doing terribly bad. Now we'll move on and do this one that's going to attack walks in darkness. It's going to roll 1. Remember, there are no hit, of course, and there are no facing rolls, but he gets to roll a defense. He's got a 4. He actually succeeded. He took no damage. Okay, now on to Calhoun. He's got 1 on him, our sheriff. Let's see if it hits him. It does, and he also has a defense of 4. It misses him. Now we got 2 on Sadie, so 2 hits on Sadie. Both of them hit, and she's got a defense of, I believe it's 4 as well. 4, so she actually blocked both of them. That was a great round for us. The only one that got hit was the preacher. Very, very good. Okay, but we get the wrap back around, yo. Okay. Let's go back to our depth track and get that going. You know, fights can really kill you on this. Now, we're at an 8+ now, not a 7+, because our posse track has gotten down a little farther in the mines, but we rolled a 10 anyway, so we are okay. Did not have the track move. That is good. Okay, first thing that happens is we have our walks in darkness. Now, he wants to get out. He does not want to stay in that room. So he is going to make a movement roll, but he's also going to make an escape attempt again, and he needs a 4. So that's right here. See, this to escape the hungry dead need a 4. But first, he's going to start by rolling his movement. So he got a 4. That's good. And then he's going to make an escape roll. He got a 5, so he did escape. So he's not moving far. He's just going to go 1, 2. To right here, and that allows the preacher to back out of the room as well. And then we can just shoot this guy from outside the room. So now, in his turn, he is still next to, started his turn in activation, so we still have to make the fear roll. So he takes 1 automatic hit. He's got a defense of 4. He failed it again. Man, he is in trouble. But at least he didn't have to make that spirit check. Now he does get to attack, and we're again going to use his hatchet. I could use the sermon from the preacher again. What do you think? But the preacher might actually try to heal himself. Let's see. Let me look at his sermons real quick. We definitely want to do this before now remember, the undead are going last this turn. They're now at a 1 initiative. They're big bonus. Oh, I didn't roll for Sadie's attacks last turn, did I, guys? Okay, back up. Whoop. We're going to just back up and do one thing. I forgot to roll Sadie's attacks. She's going to use her, I think she's going to use her rifle, because she can do that chain hit. She might be able to kill, it might have killed both the ones that are on her. So I'm sorry about that. Guys, I'm sorry. Running these combats by yourself is really tough. Too much going on. Sadie had 2 undead on her, so she's going to get a shot. Let's see if she gets it. First off, she rolls her movement. She rolled a 6, doesn't help her. And then she's got to roll for this fear check. So she's got a defense of 4, willpower defense of 4. She did not, so she took a sanity as well. I really botched that last turn up. I stopped out when the undead attacked, but that wasn't the end of the round. I still had the preacher and Sadie to go because their initiative bump. I was looking at the 1 and thought that was the end of the turn, but it wasn't. So Sadie gets to attack now with her rifle. She hit. That is awesome. So now she gets +2 damage. A 4. That's a 6. She killed one. I'll take this one out. Yeah, I'll take this one out here. So this one's dead, and Sadie gets 20 experience points. Now she gets her special ability. You can see it on her card there, called Rapid Shot. She gets to roll again. She gets another attack. And she hit again. Now let's see if she can kill another one. A 3, she did not. In fact, well, with a 4-5, she did kill another one. Blammo. Now, the way I read that ability, I guess I need to check an FAQ, but look at the way this reads. It says Rapid Shot. Anytime you kill an enemy with a 2-handed gun, you immediately gain +1 shot with that gun. She just killed another enemy. So let's continue on and see if she can continue this chain. She does. She hits again. She got +2 damage. A 5 again will kill this one. Boom. She gets another 20 experience points. She's chalking it up here. And there's, as far as I can tell, she just keep doing this. She's a badass. Okay, so she's going to do it again. There's one more zombie in her line of sight. Well, let me see. Is it? Let's take a look. I don't know, guys. This is kind of iffy. She's kind of around the corner. I'm going to say she cannot shoot that one. Line of sight's going to get in her way. But we still have the preacher to go as well. So we're going to go to his turn. Now, he is in this room, so he's going to have to make... First, he's going to make a movement roll, and he's probably going to try and escape as well. He rolled a 4. Let's see, his escape is a 4. He needs a 4 to escape. He rolled a 5, so he escaped. All he's doing is backing up 1. Well, he can go 4, right? He doesn't have a firearm, though. 2. He'll just go there. We're backing out of the room so we don't have to make the spirit test at the end of our movement, which is what it says. If any hero who ends their move has to make that test because of the crack in space. Okay, but he still does have to make a fear check. He rolled a 1, so he took another sanity as well. Mine, in reality, at this point in time, our Indian scout was right there when that happened, but he'll end up here as we wrap around, so it's okay. And then last thing he's going to do is try and attack that hungry dead that's there. He has, let's see, he can use his holy book. That's going to give him a 3 dice to roll. He's thumping him. I guess he's a Bible thumper. Okay, so he's going to thump him with his holy book. That gives him +1 combat. You know what, should he do his righteous to get an extra damage? Yeah, why wouldn't he do that? He hasn't used it this turn, or he can do it to heal somebody. So we got Righteous Fury, Shield of Light, or Faith Healing. Armor's really good, but that's a high roll. I'm a little nervous about trying to get that. Heck, we fail when we do this one. So this will heal 1 point to him and our adjacent hero. This one, let's just see if he can do it. I'm going to spend 1 on this one, right? So we're going to spend 1 on Righteous Fury, and he needs to roll 8 on 2 dice. He didn't, so that's okay. It didn't go off. And then, you know, you can only make 1 attempt per turn. So then he's going to spend 1 on his other blessing, his Faith. Where is it? Shield of Light. No, not Shield of Light. He's going to do it with his Faith Healing here. So it's only a 5. faith cost depends, right? He can do 1. He'll do 2 because he can heal himself. That's what he's going to attempt to do. He's got some damage on him. So he's got to roll a 5 or better. He did. Okay, so he gets to heal 2 wounds from himself. That's not too bad, right? I mean, heck, he had 3 on him. Now he's got 1 wound. And now he's going to attack with his book. Well, you know, once per fight we can do the knife. We might as well do that first, right? So he's got his knife. Let's get rid of Sadie's gun here for a minute. Now keep in mind that I'm still wrapping up the last battle turn because I messed it up. So he's going to do his knife. 1 shot. He's going to try and hit this one here. Why not? It's got a range of 4. Yeah, it's within range. That does +2 damage. Let's roll. He's got 1 shot. He needs a ranged attack of 5, so it's not great, but he did it. He criticaled, actually, so that guy's going to be dead. Boom. And he gets 20 points. Yay, Preacher! Tough guy. Well, that means that our Indian scout could have moved without any problem because he wouldn't have had to escape. There was no more... Well, there's still the one that was behind him, so he still would have had to do that. But he gets another 20, and he also gets 10 for his sermon, succeeding at his sermon of healing, faith healing, which I'll show you right here. Okay, boom. And then he used his knife. Now he's going to use his holy book. So, I mean, we may have had this wrapped up before that last battle and just moved out of there. Okay, that might change our whole turn a little bit. So, first off, he's got +1 combat, so he's going to roll 3 dice. His melee combat is a 4, so that's a better odds. He rolled a critical, so basically it's got +1, no, not +1 damage. So the only thing, you know, if he rolls a 1, boom, he kills it because the armor's not there. So we killed that one as well. He gets another 20 experience points. Make sure I put it on the right card. Okay, and that's going to end his action. What did that do? So when we went back to do the next turn, he was standing right here. He can move anywhere he wants. He rolled a 4, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. But before we do that, we have to roll the end of our combat. So we get to, I almost said freshen up, but that's not what it's called. It's called completing a fight, catch your breath. So we're going to catch our breath. First thing we do is we get to heal a D3 wounds or sanity, and that's going to be everybody. So we'll start with our scout, since he's our fastest player. Gets to roll a D3. That's good because he needs it. 5. Now he's going to get, so that's being a D3. That's going to be 3 sanity. He gets to take off out of the 8 that he had. That is great. He had no other damage on him, so he's now at 5 sanity points against him. Next up is our lawman. He's got some sanity on him too. He rolled a 6, so that's 3. He's going to get rid of the 1 wound he has on him, and then 2 more sanity. So he has basically left on him 3 sanity points. Now we're going to go to Sadie. She got 1 wound and 3 sanity on her. She gets 1, so she'll just take more. I think it's more important to get rid of the sanity since she has more of that. So she now has 1 wound and 2 sanity. And last but not least, our preacher. He rolled a 1, 2. He's going to take off a sanity as well since he's got 3. So he's got 1 wound and 2 sanity left. That's their catching their breath phase. And then next up, we go to drawing a loot card. So at the end of the fight, every hero is allowed to draw 1 loot card for each threat card. So there's, again, this was a encounter, which counts as a threat card, and so every enemy. So we only had 1 enemy, so we're just each going to get to draw 1 loot card. And that really changed. You got to be careful with these combats. Look how that changed the dynamic of our combat by me accidentally stopping after I did the undead. Anyway, here's the loot deck. Remember, this is also one that's continually shuffled. It never has a discard pile. We'll start with Walks in Darkness. He gets a D3 Dark Stone. Alright, let's see what he gets. He gets 2 Dark Stone. That's awesome. And he also gets, for that card, 20 experience points. Here are his 2 Dark Stones that he gets. I'm going to put those on his player board. Now I have to shuffle this back into the loot deck and draw another one. We're going to move on to our Sheriff. And he's going to get, this should come in handy, draw a gear card or an artifact card in another world. We don't have that, so we will be drawing a gear card. More gear is awesome. Now there is a limit to what they can carry, but he's nowhere near that. So he got a tonic. That is great. So we're going to discard this card and gain a tonic token. Tonics are awesome. I think they're kind of like a wild. I have to look them up. I'll show you what that looks like right now. There are these very handy little reference cards. It says discard to recover 1 grit. That's what tonic does. That's pretty good. So I'm going to get him a tonic token, which will go in his side bag. Okay, that was Sheriff Calhoun's gear card that he acquired. That's awesome. Now we're going on to Sadie, our rancher. Another successful battle with the Hungry Dead, even though they do seem to do a lot of sanity damage to us. Gold nuggets. She gets a D6 times 50 gold nuggets. That is pretty good. So money is good. She's got the most money out of everybody so far. We don't have a lot of money yet. 2. Well, that's not great. So 100 gold. $100 in gold nuggets. Whoop-de-doo! Better than a sharp stick in the eye, I guess. Okay, so last but not least, we have our preacher. Preacher man's got to draw. See what he gets. Coins. $25. Oh, I forgot the experience on the gold card and the other 2 cards. So he got... So our sheriff got 20 experience points. 20 experience points. Okay, looks like they all got 20 experience points, as this one is 20 as well. So we're gonna basically, she doesn't get to roll anything. She just gets 25, or he gets $25 and 20 experience. So I got to add 20 experience to Sadie, and then add. I'll do this off camera. Okay. So now we originally had our guy right here. He rolled a 4. There was nothing for him to fight. He can't. He doesn't want to end his movement in here, so he's going to go 1, 2, and 3. We might as well just keep going, right? So he will draw. He'll peek into that room. Since we can't scavenge, we might as well just hustle it up, right? Got looking for my map deck. Here we go. Got map deck out. What do we get? Underground waterfall. Okay, waterfall room. Pretty cool. Okay, here's our waterfall room. So it's going to go right here, just like that. That's where the entrance is. We're going to have to back this up just a hair, and then we'll be okay. Of course, if we go anywhere else, we won't. We're going to have to probably break off some more pieces of our map here. I mean, we don't need to keep these guys out here either. Okay, and that was our map. Now I'm going to keep this up because we're still going to need to do some other things. And we're going to put a encounter token right there. And he is in the middle of those 2 rooms. Great, that's his turn. So we'll just continue on from there. We're going to do, next up will be our sheriff. We're going to roll movement for him. It's like, God dang, we're not even letting us catch a breath. But, well, we did get to catch a breath before we moved on. That's the catch a breath part of the turn. He gets to move 4, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's pretty good. So we're both heading into that room. And he's on both tiles, so he's going to try and scavenge. Oh, he can't yet because there's an exploration token on it. Too bad. My bad. Can't do it. Next up we have Sadie. She rolls a 4 as well. She's going 1, 2, 3, 4 right behind our sheriff. And then our preacher. He rolls a 1. He turns around and goes right here. He's a little leery about going into this other room. That ends our turn. So next up we're going to... Whoop. Okay, what we got here, we got our second clue. So I think everything stops at that point. I need to get the scenario out. Now, it also says there is a otherworld gate, but we're playing a scenario where we don't have those. So it'll just be a 1 regular exit. But it won't matter because, I guess it matters where they come in at. It could matter where they come in at. But we're playing, yeah, here's the adventure book. We're playing the very first adventure. Where is it? Missions. Here's our first mission for a few dark stone more. Okay. Objectives. When the final clue is discovered, which just happened, that's us right here, the heroes have found the darkstone deposit they were looking for. Ignore any attacks or encounters listed on the final exploration. There was just a clue token. Just a clue, so no attack. This says encounter. I would have drawn a encounter card. Ignore any attacks or encounters, blah, blah, blah. Also, ignore any door gate icons on the token as the objective room has no exits. Okay, fair enough. Reveal all growing dread cards in the stack as normal, and then the heroes must face an epic threat. Once all enemies have been defeated, the heroes have successfully won the mission. So, we're going to start by revealing our growing dread cards. We have not been able to get rid of any of them. So, what's the first one? Humanity's End. Only now, at the end, do you realize the full scale of humanity's struggle for survival. Each hero immediately takes D6 corruption with no willpower save. Holy moly. Good golly, miss. That's terrible. Okay, well, we got to do it, so let's do it. I'm going to set this encounter up. Once the encounter's set up, we're going to end our turn, okay? So let's start with Walks in Darkness, D6 Corruption, a 4. He could re-roll it with a grit, but he could roll worse. So we're going to add 4 corruption markers to our Indian Scout. I think something happens at 6, so I'm going to have to look that up. But that's still a lot, and that's not cool. Only the first of our cards, too, of the 3. Next up, Sheriff Calhoun. He is using a grit to roll. Oh, much better. So he took 1 corruption token, but it cost him a grit to do it. So we're going to put 1 of the corruption tokens on his card and spend 1 of his grit. Okay, next up is Sadie. Okay, here's our roll for Sadie. She rolls a 3. She'll just take that. So she's going to have 3 corruption tokens on her. Boom, there they are. Now, you can heal the corruption in town, so we're definitely going to want to do that. But next up we have our Preacher. He rolls a 5. He has no grit, so he's going to have to take 5 corruption. I don't know, that's pretty bad. I actually used up all the tokens for that in the game, in that game box. Now, of course, I have 2 game boxes, but I'm only working out of one of them right now because I have both sets. Now, that was the first of the cards. Okay, the second one of the Growing Dead cards, Dread. You shudder to think of what lays before you. Move the darkness 1 step forward on the track. Well, there's some good news there. Well, that might seem terrible. All it does is go to there, and it doesn't have any further impact this turn. Okay, last but not least, our last card here. Boom, Dread. Well, now that causes a problem. I wonder how that works in the final encounter. Let me think about that. So if all heroes use a grit collectively, then we can get rid of a Growing Dread card, and we could get rid of that one and not have the depth track go up. But better yet, since the Preacher doesn't have any grit, I don't think that means the other 3 can do it and get away with it. We do have this Iron Will for Sheriff Calhoun, who does have grit. We can try and get rid of the darkness card that will be the result of that draw. So, because we're going to hit a red spot. A red spot is, yeah, Blood Splatter is a darkness card. So, let's look at that. So, here you go. So you can see here that this is going to go to 8, and we're going to draw a darkness card. So I'm going to look at the darkness card, see how bad it is, and then we'll decide if Sheriff Calhoun wants to try and cancel it or not. The Dark Omen. The darkness grows ever closer. The darkness immediately moves 1 step up on the depth track. Each hero gains 20 XP and may recover 1 grit. You know what? I'm going to let that go. It goes up to a 9, but the 9 on the depth track doesn't do anything, and everybody's going to get 20 experience points and a grit. That is, I think, will be much more valuable in this fight than canceling that out. So I'm putting grit tokens on everybody's card, and that means that our Indian's full. Our Preacher's got 2, and he's got 1 anyway. So we got 2 on everybody, and the Preacher's got 1. That's pretty good. And then everybody gets 20 experience points as well. Now, though, we get to draw our epic threat for our final encounter. Dum, 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 dum. Are you ready? The 1 Harbinger and 1 low threat card. Is that what that says? I want to look that up because, yeah, I guess that means low, low, low. Yeah, wait, what does that mean? 1 of each? Oh, that could be terrible. Let me think about that. Okay, guys. Well, here's our 2 beasties. Got the Harbinger here. He's a demon. He's got a melee attack of 4, so he doesn't actually have any damage. But look at all this stuff: Unspeakable Terror, Bringer of Death. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got 3 defense, 18 hit points, but he does an XP equals 10 plus 5 for each hit that he gets. It's pretty good. He's not elite, so we don't have to worry about that. He can be escaped from pretty easily, even though he's got big giant wings. He is a large creature, and he's got 4 initiative. The tentacles have a 3 initiative. They need a 4 to hit. They get 3 combat dice, and they do 5 damage. This is going to be a really nasty fight, actually. But let's go place our guys. Now, they're going to start off in the farthest reaches of the cavern that we're in. So let's go take a look at that. So we go with I think it's the slowest initiative and placement. So I think we're actually, weirdly enough, I think it's the fastest. Let me look. Enemy placement. I gotta look at that just a moment. Yeah, so it's the lowest initiative enemy model. Now that's not a good thing for us actually, because the tentacles are slower than the harbinger. So we're going to have 6 tentacles come out, and we're going to start again. I think we're going to start in this space right here. Then we're going to have one right here. Now then it extends out a little bit. We're going to have one here, one here, one here. That's one more, right? And one here. Now, here's the thing. Our dum. By the way, look at that cool miniature. Now, there was a big gap on his neck. I'd have to fill it with putty, but that's a pretty awesome looking piece. He is going to be placed next, and I guess the starting point for him, as I understand it, would be right there. So he is a large creature, but he can fit securely on that space, and that is what we have run into when we start in the room. Not great, right? But at least we have lots of guns. So this will be our threat for the turn. We're going to have to. This is our epic battle. If we manage to defeat him, we might get enough stuff to level up. I just don't know. Might as well take these other encounter cards off the board. We won't need them anymore. And guys, I'll see you next time. That is the setup and the beginning of our next battle. That is going to be absolutely insane. Anyway, look forward to having you next time when we actually conclude this mission. We will get right at it. Now, again, I'll try and spot some mistakes in my editing if I did make some. Please let me know. I think we did okay there, but I'm fiddling a little bit with it just because there's a lot of stuff to go around. Much easier if there was 4 of us sitting around the table trying to remember all the rules. So, but that is where we're going to head next for our turn. Now, I'm going to research. The bad guy might actually be right in their face. I have to check that. I think we're okay placing him there, but I need to really look at that. So anyway, because theoretically it would be here on this last space, but there isn't one, so he might be right here. I'll double check, and if you come back and you see him in their face, right up in their face, then you'll know.